All right, welcome back. Titans getting set to host the Browns on Sunday afternoon, a noon kickoff at Nissan Stadium. Last time the Titans beat a team not named the Jaguars at home, you have to go all the way back to the final game of the 2013 season when they beat the Texans. It's also the last time they won back-to-back games. They beat the Jaguars and Texans, final two games of that year. They have the opportunity to end both of those streaks on Sunday, and should, frankly. And that's the real challenge now is on Sunday in Miami, we saw a team that for the first time in a long time went out and was just flat out better than the team on the other side. They dominated the trenches on both sides of the ball, played really well, and won the football game. They're going to have a similar matchup this weekend. They are better than the Browns on both sides of the ball. Can they go out and do it again? Because what we've seen over the past couple years, which has been so frustrating to fans, is even when the Titans play the bottom feeders in the NFL, they haven't been able to step on anybody's throat. Heck, they've been a bottom feeder in the NFL. They've really struggled to get over that hump and to win. Well, here's their chance. And better yet, the rest of the month is a chance. Because after the winless Browns Sunday, you get a Colts team that has really struggled. Andrew Luck is getting beat up every time he goes back to pass behind that offensive line. And then you get the Jaguars, the team that you have beaten at home, and a team that's just got one win on the year over the Colts. So this is an opportunity, 3 consecutive home games, all winnable, to stack some wins together. Win some home games. Bring some of these fans back. Get back to 500. Make your record relevant as you move towards the second half of the year. And the Titans are very much aware of that. Titans are very much aware of that. Mike Mularkey said as much after the game on Sunday. In the locker room celebration, he told the guys, he said, look, great win today. That's a start. Now we've got to keep it going. Now we've got to see what's next. And what's next for this team, and this is what he said, we got to win some home games. Give our fans a reason to show up and to believe. Titans fans, let's face it, you haven't had a reason to believe, a reason to show up and cheer for quite some time. Here is their opportunity. And I wrote as much. If you go to our website, newschannel5.com, I wrote a column basically all about this. The Titans are seeking relevance. And the opportunity for relevance is now right in front of them. Again, check it out on newschannel5.com. But these 3 games give them the opportunity. You win a couple of them, you'll be 4-4 at the midway point. You will have won 2 of 3 in this stretch at home. Fans will start to believe a little bit more. Maybe show up more in the second half of the year. You win all 3 of them, you'll be above 500 and, in my opinion, probably in first place in the division when you go to San Diego, who, oh, by the way, isn't very good either in early November. The Titans have been talking progress. They've been saying we're close. They've been saying we're almost there. We just have to get over the hump. Well, Sunday they did. But now the next hump is to do it multiple times. Prove that you have made progress and do it with W's. Here is that opportunity in front of the Titans right now. Can they prove that the progress is real? Or will they sink back and be the team we've watched them be the last couple of years that takes a step forward and then takes multiple steps back? I think this team is better. That's why I think this opportunity is real. But we'll find out when they take the field. Can they just take care of business Sunday against the Browns? Just winning that one. It's not a good team, but taking care of business against a bad team and winning another game will go a long way for this team and its confidence. Phone lines are open. 737-7767 is the number. We have a caller here. Let's go to Joey. Joey, good evening.
Good evening.
Hey, Joey, go ahead.
Let's go to Joey. Good evening. Good evening.
Joey, go ahead. Okay, lost Joey. Phone line still open, 737-7767, if you'd like to be involved. Otherwise, let's go to Mike Malarkey talking about the win over the Dolphins, some of the injury updates of this team, and also spinning it forward a little bit. Big week ahead against the Browns. Noon kickoff on Sunday.
Really nothing new from the game. Like I mentioned in the post-game press conference, bumps and bruises, but nothing that should hold anybody out of practice this week. Cody Riggs and Searcy should hopefully be ready for the game. We'll ease them back into practice on Wednesday. Al Woods may be another week with his injury, but we should get those two back.
Searcy automatically back in the starting lineup?
It hasn't been discussed yet. We're still talking about that. Again, I want to see him, just like I've done with some of the other guys that have been injured. I want to see them full speed in these practices and see where they're at.
How do guys like Lax and Johnson play in place of Allen?
They did some good things. They did. I thought they did some good things. Each of them, made plays we needed to have made. And the play that Austin Johnson made where he batted the ball, that could have been a bad play for our defense. There was nobody around the receiver, and that prevented a serious play happening against us. So it was a big play.
Did Quan end up playing most of the nose for you or
Played majority of it, yeah.
Okay. He did well. Okay. Now, Austin had been practicing there, or
No, Austin was going to get a handful of snaps, which he did.
but you got and generally like Austin better nose or end, or is it still
They're kind of. That's the beauty of the guys we have. They can play either or, and can play them in the game, and you really don't lose a lot of, at either position.
Looking at tell you, Marcus, what he was able to do, the decision making from yesterday, one of the better games this year, one of the best games this year.
Yeah, he did make some, like I think I said it last night or yesterday afternoon. He made some good decisions on, throwing the ball away. I thought some of the third downs were good decisions, quick, precise. We didn't get the first, but we gained yards. Again, that's field position that our defense now gains. And then his decision to pull it down and run when he saw lanes, that wasn't like an all of a sudden we encouraged him to do it for this game. That's any game that he has a lane to run, take it. And he had more lanes yesterday, just the way the game unfolded. Again, they played a lot of man coverage. That's what happens when you get man coverage. You get guys out of their zones. There's a lot more space to run than a zone coverage.
Was any of that designed?
Or any of the runs designed? No, other than the quarterback one he scored on. That was a design run for him.
You get the sense that teams are playing a lot of zone to keep an eye on him and his running ability, or?
Well, I think that's one way of defending a lot of the things we do. The zone read, to go back on Paul's question, the zone read can be a run by him, a design run by him. And there was another one of those. Zone does give you some problems with that. We can counter it. We have answers for zone, but that is a good way of defending the zone read.
You talked a lot about putting him on the run, and it seems to kind of, do you think it's fair to say it kind of settles him into the game when he runs? So
I think he gets maybe more comfortable. I don't know. There were a lot of times yesterday we gave him some options to run based on the defensive front. A lot of those you saw the play, even Derrick Henry that he split for 20 yards. That was what the defense gave us.
He made good decisions as far as when he runs and getting down. You like what he was doing there.
Absolutely.
Like one time where he maybe could have gotten the sideline, but doing a risk and got down.
Well, there was one in that last drive of the first half that he could have easily gotten out of bounds. We prefer he get out of bounds in that situation.
But you're about to get it down to avoid taking a hit and risk.
But he could have gotten, we think, based on where he was, he could have gotten out of bounds right there. But he's doing a great job with the slide and taking, again, there's no unnecessary hits on him. That's very smart on his part.
Why do you think he was so effective under pressure yesterday, especially given the previous two performances weren't not as bad?
The previous two performances didn't affect him. That's the way he is. He doesn't let things carry over into his plays or games. They don't affect him. He puts a lot of pressure on himself. He ignores the noise out there that that puts a lot. You would think put a lot of pressure on him. I don't think it bothers him. I think that's the way he's been his whole career.
How does he carry the success forward?
That again, just like the negative and the positive, he'll be the same. He'll be ready. He'll be prepared. He's going to do whatever he can to help us win. But I don't think either or affects the way he approaches the game.
What are some of the reasons you think for the increase in interceptions that you guys have had so far?
I think obviously better coverage, making plays. That was a great play by J-Mac yesterday. Those are things we have to have happen. Being in the right place where we're supposed to be, and pressure certainly helps. Again, getting pressure on the quarterback. It all kind of plays in all of them. All those guys on defense, they all are pieces to the end result.
That's two from McCourty wrestling the ball away. That's all pretty much already caught. How much does that kind of add to the potential for interceptions when it's not as much about jumping to throw as it is about jumping to receive?
Plus it was a little bit behind him, gave him an advantage of seeing the ball. They do these drills every day. Those are drills that our secondary coaches work, and it's coming in our favor. A lot of times it has not. It has as of late, which is good.
Are you doing anything differently at all with Arakpo this year in his rushes? Because I know you talked about how well he played last year, but he's almost approaching the sack numbers that he had for 16 games a year ago.
It helps to have a complementary. We have another rusher on the other side, whoever that is, whether it's Morgan or Dodd, or it helps that you have another one that they have to take care of and be aware of. That certainly was the case last year, even with Derek Morgan having the start he had at the beginning of last year. Plus, yesterday they had some issues, with their offensive line, which every team in the NFL does. There's guys that are not typical starters playing positions, and I thought he took advantage of the situation.
When guys like Jarrell and Derek maybe get that first sack, take a little bit of pressure off them, maybe, and then kind of let them, get a little momentum.
Well, they know they've been close, especially Jarrell. He's tough to block, and he knows he's been close, and nothing has deterred him to keep bringing it, and it was good to see him get a couple. Hopefully that's like you see. You get one more to come. I'm hoping that's the case.
Have you had anything drop off at all with Klein in there? They've changed the place the last couple of weeks.
He's played extremely well. He has had a tough duty, especially yesterday. And there's some plays yesterday that, we had some double teams in that game yesterday that you can't draw them up and just didn't script them any better than they doubled these guys out of there. And he had a lot of pressure on him to perform, and he performed really well against that front.
Does he fit your mentality on that offensive line and what your guys are doing?
Yes, he does. He's fit right in. He's smart. He's tough. He understands what we're trying to do, and he doesn't say a whole lot. He's a quiet guy, but he's playing our style.
Surprising for a guy to come in off of waivers, after missing training camp and all that, just fit in seamlessly.
It is, but he started some big games, in New England, and you got to have to say they wouldn't put him in there if they hadn't had the trust that you need to have a guy in big games, and he's really done everything we've hoped he would do. I mean, it was a very good pickup.
When Klug does what he did in the snaps that he got, is that a guy maximizing his role, or does it go beyond that, and is that a guy demanding more?
Yeah, he's Klug represents what we stand for on this team. He is a fierce competitor, all out, every play. He's getting more snaps. I mean, he's playing, and every snap he gets, there's nothing but all-out effort and relentless. I wish I had all the words to describe. Physical. This guy is very disruptive. Doesn't get a lot of credit. You know, he had 4 pressures yesterday. One, I think, caused an interception. I mean, he does a lot of things that people don't really see behind the scenes that are very disruptive.